the state operations budget and has taken 10%
Yes.
in terms of cuts.
I know.
He asked the judiciary to do the same.
Yes.
You have shared with us some of the reasons why, parts of that you were not able to do, but then in response to Assemblyman Lanceman's question, he asked you to break that down between the places where you absolutely had no flexibility to cut and the places you did. And you responded to us that you have cut 0.2% in the area that you do have flexibility to cut. Did I hear that correctly?
I would frame it a little differently, that we made a determination, the Chief Judge felt very strongly this year, that we wanted to put within our operating budget funding for civil legal services of $25 million, funding for additional indigent defense case caps, that's about $11 million. So we have reduced our actual operating money by that amount to accommodate that and still come in with an operating budget that is slightly reduced.
And slightly reduced is the 0.2%
Yes.
that you were talking about.
Right.
So in addition to putting those categories in the operating budget, the total budget is still 0.2%, but it doesn't come anywhere near
No.
what the governor has asked everybody else in the state, every other operation of state government. It doesn't even come close. And I'm wondering if you see that as a problem just in terms of the collaboration. We're separate branches of government. Certainly we all go through the same budget process, but in terms of the blatant disregard for the governor's call, we may see something come out of the legislature that will look different than what you're proposing, and we may certainly see with the executive who has last ups in the process reflect something completely different. But I think the spirit of what the governor is trying to do is to say to people, there is no more money. There's no more money. So you can either propose the cuts or I will. I've heard him say that very clearly.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering what your reaction to it is when you propose in an area of your budget that you can control simply a 0.2% reduction.
A flat percent. And we had these conversations with the governor's office. And when the governor has said to us that he would like us to cut 10%, we are talking about cutting thousands of employees. And there is no way I can cut thousands of employees without shutting down courts. The volume of what's being asked to cut us by 10% would effectively, I mean, I know this isn't how it would happen, but you would be shutting down the citywide courts in New York City. That's the volume we're talking about, the family, the civil, and the criminal court. You would be, it's the volume, if I shut down the 6th, 7th, and 8th judicial district, it's people. That's what we have. The things that Senator DeFrancisco raised as far as other things, absolutely, we will be good partners and look at every possible thing we can. But there is a fundamental constitutional obligation we feel we have to keep the courts open. So for us to say that we will agree to enter the budget process by providing for layoffs of 2,000, 2,500 employees and shutting the court's doors, that for us is just not a place we can with good conscience begin, knowing what our constitutional obligation is. It does not mean that we're not willing to be good partners and have very serious conversations through a budget process that is just beginning.